everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Penapple and today I am building the house from the Ghibli film Ponyo. If you're interested in this build, you can download it off of the gallery. My origin ID is penappleYT. This build is CC free, custom content that is, but it does have pretty much I think all of the packs in it, so that is a little bit of a bummer, but I want it to be completely like unlimited to build this. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I have quite a few Ghibli builds that I have done so far. Just the first one was Totoro, the house from Totoro. I did the part of the spirit town from Spirited Away. I did the house from when Marnie was there, but if you don't like rants or you really love the movie, I was kind of bitter in that one. So you maybe want to avoid that one. Oh my gosh. And then I also did the sort of I did Laputa from Castle in the Sky, and I think I did the bakery from Kiki's Delivery Service. That one was my most recent one. So yeah, I'm continuing the trend of me doing Ghibli builds. You might have noticed that this isn't the lot that we started on, or that I showed you in the intro, and that's because I started building this way back in like August. I built it before we had that base game update, you know, where we got a couple of items. I built it before pets came out. I built it before we got the new roofing tools and the ability to size down objects. So I kept the footage of what I had built so far, and then I will soon hop into Brindleton Bay, where I end up completing the build and I make it like the hill that's on taller. And the hill, it's, you might be wondering, Penelope or Penapple, why did you build this on a giant bush? And my answer to that would be, well, I tried to place grass and I used the 9 key to move it all up, and it looked gorgeous. It looked like a grassy knoll, like a nice grassy hill like it did in the film. It was beautiful, but if you moved a lot around, if you downloaded off the gallery, anything, all of that grass fell and it ended up looking like, I guess, like one of those old English like monks' heads, you know, where they've got like the shaved but like the bowl cut, like, because all the grass just fell. Like you can see here, this is what it would look like, but more grass down here. And it looked so bad, and I wanted you guys, like, just because it looked good in my game, I wanted it to look good in your guys' game too. So we've got the weird bush situation going on. Oh my gosh. I think it looks okay. I think it would have looked better with the grass, like 100%, but I also think that the grass just wasn't the right option, as sad as it makes me. But you can see here that I'm already starting on the hill. Gosh, I forget who it was, but somebody commented, I posted a sneak peek of this on Twitter, which I do a lot if you're interested in that kind of thing. And they're like, who needs terrain tools? And I was like, oh, thank you. But I had so much fun using the new roofing to build like this hill, and so I kept most of it in. This does take me a fair amount of time. I didn't keep all of it in. I mostly just kept like the front area in, because I used the same like techniques and tools in the front as I did to complete the back part of the hill for this house. And so I also feel like maybe this lot isn't quite the best, just because it doesn't give you quite the same sort of like right on the sea feel, like, because this is, you know, Ponyo on the cliff by the sea, and this isn't quite by the sea, but I didn't want to build it on the 64x64 lot because A, I didn't want my computer to die, and B, I didn't want myself to die, because building on the 64x64 lot is so hard. Basically. Also, I ended up finishing like off this build in a week because I had been a part of the Brindleton Bays collab, and so I was really focused on that for a little bit, but then I decided, you know, it's time for this build. It's time to get back to it and build it. The reason why I originally kind of put it on hold was because right when I started building it was when Hurricane Harvey and Hurricane Irma was going on, and the majority of the film of Ponyo is spent underwater with massive, massive, massive flooding, like skyscraper flood, like no, maybe not, like, but like, you know, 3-story high flooding. Like everything except for this house basically was underwater, and it just seems like not the best timing to be, you know, doing a build based on a movie where it has that, because like, you know, that's fine, it's a kids movie, but like actual flooding like that is just so devastating that it just didn't quite feel right to me. So I put it on the back burner. I'm sorry, because like I was like, oh yeah, and I think in the Kiki build I was like, oh yeah, I'll have a build out in like a couple weeks, another Ghibli build will be so much fun. And then I'm like, psych, nope, wait a couple months. But so we are here now though, and it's very exciting because I'm so excited to have this up. Ponyo definitely is not my favorite Ghibli film. I've said this before. Totoro, hands down, is my favorite, and then I think it's Kiki's, and then Howl's Moving Castle, and then I think like Spirited Away, and maybe, yeah, that's like about like the sort of hierarchy, without listing every single one, because I probably could. We just be here all day. But here is what I did for the grass. Grass in like air quotes. Seriously, but I used one tree. I think it's a base game, like acacia tree or something, because I liked the color of it. I wanted it to kind of match the green color I had for the roofing here. And here you can see a technique I had tried. I thought I'd go with multiple things, you know, try and work that grass in there. But the colors just all looked really off, and it looked really stratified because I didn't want to use the 9 key at all, because I was pretty certain that everything would fall, all the landscaping. I know that trees always fall if you use the 9 key when you try and move the lot or download it off the gallery. So this was all of this landscaping was painstakingly done without the 9 key, which is something that you don't often hear. Usually people are like, oh my god, I use the 9 key so much, I thought that my fingers were gonna fall off. But no, this was me not using the 9 key, and I'm gonna tell you, it was so much worse than I thought it would be. But one of the reasons it was also kind of nice to wait for this is there were just like a lot of little things that came out that just made this build like feel a bit more authentic. Like that fence is from the toddler stuff pack, and it's just a very like kind of almost rickety pickety fence. Rickety pickety. Okay, well, that's what we're going with here. I guess I'm rhyming like a nursery rhyme. That's, yeah. Oh my gosh. So that was new, that I was excited to use. I was also obviously excited to use the new roofing tools and the size down tools. I wish I had that all along, you guys, because there are some things that I would change about my Ghibli builds if I had that size down tool, for sure. But yeah. Oh, I was gonna say something. Well, I love that little van. Oh, I worked on a fence earlier. It's like a picket or chain link fence, which was in the movie. Like, sometimes for me, the hardest part of these builds is like there are just some like there's stuff in the movie that doesn't really translate over, but it's there, and so I just am like kind of like, I don't really know if I like exactly how this looks, but this is the closest I can get, so we're putting it there. And the chain link fence is kind of one of those things, you know, but there are definitely something. I mean, overall, the shape of this house I am not honestly a huge fan of it. Like, just the structure overall, it's a very plain build. It's very cartoony, very childish. It almost kind of reminds me of what a 4-year-old would draw, which honestly is perfect, you know, for that film, you know, because it's a very, very children-friendly, children-centric, like, movie, and so, you know, that's cool. But I don't think it translates over very well to having a pretty looking Sims build. But this is coming from somebody who is like, loves clutter, the more clutter, the better type thing. But yeah, if you haven't seen the movie Ponyo, I mean, I don't really know what you're doing watching this. I mean, thank you. I was like, don't go. Stay, please. Oh, let's just insult all the viewers away. Who needs them? Okay. Oh my gosh. But yeah, Ponyo is a really cute movie. It's based off of the sort of the Little Mermaid classic fairy tale. Gonna interrupt myself here. There are the balconies in the house. They have like these little window things, and I would really love if we could place things on half tiles. So like we could center something that's 2 squares over a 3 square thing, or center something that's 1 square over 2 squares. That would make my life so much easier. That would make all of my Ghibli builds so much easier. Please and thank you. Like, I feel like that's our next big step, is being able to like have just a little bit more freedom with the windows and doors. Anyways, back to Ponyo. But yeah, it's basically based off of The Little Mermaid, and it's kind of a sort of more Japanese styled retelling of it. It is set in Japan. One of the honestly few Ghibli films that is. Hayao Miyazaki tends to be really inspired from like European cultures and European stories. I'm sorry, I'm like cracking my knuckles. That is so fantastic. Like Howl's Moving Castle, that is a very English story. It's originally a book. Oh, what else? I mean, Laputa, or Castle in the Sky, I don't think I was originally, like, from anything else, but it didn't really have a sort of Japanese feel. It had a very European, like, architecture and stuff. And so just, like, a Kiki's Delivery Service, for sure, that's, like, French, like, it's, like, real French, even the music, but yeah. So anyways, so Ponyo in that way is kind of exciting for me, because I do really enjoy Japanese culture, so that's really cute. I think the mom in it is absolutely crazy. Honestly, she maybe should not be a mom. Just saying. Like, the way she drives, I don't know how. I don't know how anybody still is alive in that movie. Like, anyone, I don't know, like, I feel like honestly she has the potential to like run over everyone in the town at once and just be like, whoops, sorry. Also, at a certain point she ends up leaving like 2 5-year-olds alone in the middle of a natural disaster, and it's just kind of like, what are you doing? Anyways, here you can see I'm trying to pick out the flooring, which I really love the look of the City Living flooring, but the color just wasn't quite right. So I was just a little bit peeved. I was just like, But I was so excited. Those chairs came with a relatively recent base game update, and they are exactly perfect. There's a similar type chair that we had originally in base game, and it's so similar, but this is just perfect. I was so excited. So excited. It's fantastic. This is the little entryway. I rewatched the film. Like, whenever I do any of these Ghibli builds, I rewatch the film, but I'm pausing it. I'm like taking pictures, like, you know, capture like little screenshotty things. I'm making notes. I did a whole sketch of what I thought the layout of this should be. You know, I took like 50 pictures. You know, I really try and go for authenticity, because I feel like, kind of like with my love of clutter, the more you put into something, like the more like details you add, oftentimes it looks better. Like, it's like with drawing, you don't necessarily have to be a fantastic drawer. Everything looks perfect to make something that looks really interesting and awesome. Like, if you keep adding details to it, and as long as it's not like too crowded, you can still kind of tell what things are, you know, it just kind of makes things look better. But anyways, I'm kind of off topic. Well, what is the topic is the question. For this voiceover, I am trying to kind of stay on topic a bit more, just because there are a lot of new people here. So hello. But yeah, this build has been quite requested. Of all of the Ghibli builds, this one I think has been the most requested on my channel. Like, people will often comment on past Ghibli builds and, you know, let me know what they want to see me build next, which please feel free to do that. I Love it. A couple of ideas I have. I kind of want to build the Valley of the Wind from Nausicaa. I'm not sure how. Not sure. But I kind of want to try. Attempt to make windmills. We'll see how that goes. I'm not quite sure when that'll happen. I at some point I feel like I should probably build something from Arietti, but that one just seems kind of hard because everything is so cluttered. And you know, I've been thinking lately I might build Howl's Moving Castle. So that could be fun. Probably a headache. I know that Hatsie has already built it, but she did the end of the film version. It's more of an airship than did I say flying castle? If I did, I meant moving castle. She did like the flying castle one. So I might be able to kind of get away. Because like, I don't know. People have made the Ponyo house before. People had made Kiki's house before. Like all that stuff. So it's not like I'm doing anything revolutionary. And I know that. But I also, you know, don't want to like just copy anyone. But I mean, it's also like a Miyazaki. Anyways, I'm just talking now. I'm just rambling. But yeah, if you guys have any other ideas of what you'd like to see me build, I know Sophie's Hat Shop has been requested, but if you are interested in Sophie's Hat Shop, please, please, please comment down below. But before you go comment, think about this. Would it be okay if that one, it has custom content? Because I do not think that I can really capture that one well without taking the wallpapers we got from Windenburg that give it that sort of like the beams and stuff and the cross beams. I don't think I can do it without taking that and recoloring it. And so I would probably do that myself and then somehow put some sort of save file. And so it would be all very easy to do, but it would be CC. And all of the builds so far have been CC free. So let me know in the comments down below. I really need to know. It's important. Please comment. No. Oh my goodness. But this whole build is pretty crowded. That dining room table, I am so mad at that dining room table. And I will tell you why. I probably sound crazy right now. You're like, why are you mad at a dining room table? You need to calm down. But let me tell you this. The swatches are broken on that. And on the table that we got in movie hangout stuff. For some reason, those two tables, it doesn't matter how you change the swatches, it still just looks like that. It looks like that. And like you've changed the swatch, it recognizes, it's like, oh yeah, no, look, you're on this swatch, but it doesn't show up. So I kind of just left it because my hope is that the Sims team will fix whatever glitch that is, and then when you put it in your game, it'll look like I intended it to look. And also, it's one of the few that has any sort of tablecloth, except for the really fancy looking ones that we got in Dine Out. And like, the original table is like a really, really cute plaid tablecloth covered table. So, we can't have everything in life. But we kind of totally skipped over the kitchen. I'm really proud of the shelving thing that I did in the kitchen. I love how that turned out. I end up putting a little towel on the sofa as sort of like a nod to the towels that they use in the movie when they like come in from the storm. Also, the mom just picks up sure, she kind of saves a random 5-year-old girl, or that's what in my head, that's what I kind of think their ages are. But she kind of like saves / just like picks up like a random 5-year-old girl, and she doesn't like call the police. Like, I know there's a storm going on, but she's just like, oh, come live with us now. And it's like, what? Sorry. Like, the mom, in all honesty, the mom character is pretty chill. She's kind of fun. But it's just like the things that she does, I'm just like, what? How is your child still alive? Anyways. Some of the other little touches that I put in this, so I have that towel. I put a bucket on the fence by the back staircase, which, by the way, that staircase was really annoying because it was so hard to get the trees to cover the like roofing bit while having the stairs still show, so it kind of is patchy back there. Not my best. I end up putting a little lantern right here that they use. It is so cute. I love the little touches. And also, I end up putting a fishbowl in Sasuke's room. That's the little boy. Because Ponyo is the mermaid. I did not say that at all. I was like, oh yeah, this is based off the Little Mermaid. Now let's talk about the mom. It's not even the mom of the Little Mermaid. It's the mom of Sasuke. Yeah. I am A++ voiceover. But yeah. So, and I put a goldfish in there. So it's cute. But here is this little like wash station that I've put together, and I'm really proud of it. Would not have been able to do this without the size down tool. So fantastic. Oh, so made me so happy with so many things in this build to be able to size them down. Like, look here, I sized that down and now it looks like a spigot. Kind of. Sort of. As close to a spigot as I could get. Give me a break. I feel like that's how it is with like all my Ghibli builds. I'm just like, as close as I can get. So I hope you guys like it. Like I said, I just kept adding details until I thought it looked kind of like it. But oh, I was gonna mention something. Oh, the artwork in Ponyo is gorgeous. Like, one of the reasons why it's not my favorite Ghibli film is because I did see it later in my life, because it came out later in my life, and it is very childish, which is totally fine. It's a children's movie. It's allowed to be childish. It's allowed to be like a little plot holy or overly simplified in some respects, and that's not a bad thing. That's cool. It's a children's movie. But so is Totoro, but I was a child when I watched it, and it's very nostalgic for me now. But anyways, so I'm not a huge fan of the plot, Ponyo has a very, very grating personality. There is a whole bit where she just says the word Ponyo loves Sasuke and Ponyo loves ham, and that's all she can say, which I can get as a nod to the Little Mermaid losing her voice, but it is a little bit sad to see a female main character not like being able to speak. But anyways, that's my own opinion. But here, I love this. There's like, I forget what it's called, but it's like a little flashy light thing, and it's like a type of Morse code that Sasuke uses to communicate with his dad, and you saw it in the intro, and I'm very love special effects of me adding the flashes. Looks maybe kind of bad, but I tried. I'm using Movie Studio Platinum 13 to edit, and so that's how I did that. And it's kind of like a very watered down version of Vegas. And the reason why I have this is because it wasn't too expensive, and because if I ever do decide to upgrade, Vegas would probably be where I'd go, and I'd basically know how to use it. There would just be more stuff, or, you know, more like leeway and stuff. But this is Sasuke's room. This was kind of difficult just because he has very characteristic furniture, so I tried my best. I love that I got to use the what's it called? It's like a steering wheel for a boat. It's not an oar, like a helm. I mean, I guess, what's it called? Oh, I did sailing. Why can't I remember this? The skipper manipulates, not the jib. Oh no, this is gonna haunt me. Oh no. Oh well, you can tell me down below if you know. I feel so ashamed. I did sailing for 2 years in high school. I'm really beating myself up about this. Moving on. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. No, seriously though, guys, I'm just like, where is this? But I haven't even told you guys my fantastic news. I got accepted into grad school. Oh my god. I'm over the moon. I am so excited. Like, honestly, if I have been trying to get into this grad school program the entire time of my YouTube channel, and I've almost been doing this YouTube channel for 2 years, and I've been trying to get, I've been setting myself in this direction for this program for like, I think 5 years now about, and I spent the last like 2-ish years kind of actively applying. It's kind of a whole thing, and it's kind of complicated, but I got in, and I'm so excited. It was hilarious. Today was the day that, you know, they were gonna tell me, And so they said that they would, you know, tell me on December 1st. I'm releasing this video on December 2nd, by the way, in case you're wondering. You probably weren't, but they told me they'd tell me. And so I could not sleep. And so at 1 in the morning, I woke up and I was like, well, I might as well check, you know, just check it. And so I look at it and it says, check back on December 1st. And I was just like, do you know, like, I was like, really like, are you kidding me? It is December 1st. But I was just like, okay, just go back to bed, try your best to sleep. You're not going to, but you know, you can do it. So I go back to bed. I wake up at 5:55 for work. Don't ask me why 5:55. This is kind of arbitrary. But anyways, at 5:55, I wake up, go check it. It says the same thing. I'm just like, it is December 1st. Come on. But I like calm down. And I wait a little bit. I wait until 6, basically 6 in the morning. So 5 minutes, not that long. You know, I'm like, you know, sometimes things update on the hour. So I go and look at it and it says offer extended, and which means I'm accepted. And I was just like, well, actually at the moment I was very numb. I was like, I saw it and I was like, I need to go braid my hair now for work. And then I went and I braided my hair and I came back, and as I'm braiding my hair, I had to stop to cry, basically. Oh my gosh. But we are coming up on the end of this build, and look at me. I'm so proud. Look at how on track I was until basically the very end. I deserve an award, not really, because this should be more simple, but I really hope that you guys enjoyed this build. If you did, please feel free to leave me a comment, like it, subscribe, that sort of thing. If you're interested in being notified as to when my next build is, especially subscribe and let me know what kind of Ghibli build you'd like to see next. I hope you guys are all having a great day, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!